So, welcome back to the Beast of the East 2013. We are starting on a more reasonable hour on the Sunday, 11 a.m., and we are on day 2. That means double eliminations are done. You lose and you are out of this tournament, unless, of course, it's in the semifinals, in which case you have an opportunity to play for the 3-4, but these teams are not those teams. These are still elimination games. The quarterfinals first up today in the top half of the bracket, which happens to have all teams from Quebec in it. You've got the Fedois from the Montreal Roller Derby in the purple. And we got the Rouge Gore from Quebec Roller Derby, Quebec City, making their way through the tournament yesterday to qualify for day 2 for the first time ever for Quebec Roller Derby. So congratulations to the ladies in red. I'm Captain Lou Alabama. I will be joined by someone on the microphone shortly, and it looks like the Derby nerd's going to jump in and help me out to call the first 2 games of the Sunday of Beast of the East 2013, again at Arena St. Louis, Montreal, Quebec, Canada. The weather is absolutely fantastic outside. That means we'll spend the entire day inside the hockey arena, which is slowly turning into a sweat box as we speak.
I'm already sweating, Captain Lou. Good morning, everyone. Derby Nerd here, back on the mic. Well rested, caffeinated, ready for day 2 of the Beast of the East.
The Rouge Gore, really one of the underdog stories of this tournament. Impressing everybody yesterday, making their way through in a very exciting final game on day 1 as well, game number 20, where they sneaked past the Smoke City Betties in a 58-56 game, qualifying for an opportunity to move to the semifinals.
Yeah, a remarkable setup. As you were mentioning earlier, I don't know if you mentioned yet on the mic that the the Ontario and Quebec brackets, the way it's worked out today, should make for an interesting day on the track, and it looks like we're about to get underway here.
And for Fedois, it's Ohio going through on the inside, getting forced, having to cycle to the back, and coming out the front for the Rouge Gore. That's Nana Bisturi, number 911.
What a story she was yesterday, a key member of the Rouge Gore's victories, especially in that final game against the Betties. I have no idea how many jams she was on, but I'm sure it was more than half of their jams. She's now approaching a purple wall, though, and having a hard time getting through. She's picked up 1 point, calls it off. Did she call it in time?
She did not.
Just giving up 1, though. 4-1 is the score.
No, actually, Nerd, it's the other way around. The Fedois picking up all 4 points. Rouge Gore only with 1. So Nana Bisturi with that late call-off, giving up 3 points. A little bit of nerves early on in this game, but perhaps a rookie mistake. We'll see if they can correct that. Again, these games are 20 minutes long. Not a lot of room to make errors. We saw that yesterday where teams went down with penalties, and we got another jam underway. Demanda Lashing for the Fedois, coming out the front, getting lead jammer, but hot on her tail. That is Minnie Small for the Rouge Gore.
Wow, impressive. Demanda Lashing, also an impressive skater yesterday. Packs are 4-3 advantage right now for Les Fedois. Demanda slowing things down as she's about to approach in her scoring pass. She's going to try to draw something out of Minnie Small and then forced to call it off. A little bit of a stalemate there. Score remains 4-1 for Les Fedois. Just a minute and a half into this opening game of the quarterfinals.
Fedois sending Ohio right back to the line, and she'll once again be facing off against Nana Bisturi. Nana getting the better of the Fedois jammer the first time through. Let's see how this matchup works out. Again, 1 blocker in the box. That's the pivot Benoit 16 for the Rouge Gore.
And it's a 4-3 pack advantage for Les Fedois. I have a feeling we're going to see some short benches, not only in this game, but all day today. Oh, and from Ohio on the outside lane yet again for Les Fedois. They are really favoring that outside. It's been working for them. Nana Bisturi, though, about a quarter track back.
And Nana Bisturi was able to get up quickly from a block and get her way free of the pack. Ohio through to the front of the pack, hands on the hips. 4 points for the Fedois, and a referee takeout on the outside by Nana Bisturi at the end of the jam, harassing forward, going down. They apologize to each other. Everything's okay, and we'll get more roller derby under the way. 8-2 for the Fedois. Another 4-1 jam.
That's right, and Demanda Lashing back out there for Les Fedois.
And that's Lapinocchio, number KO for the Rouge Gore.
3-3 in the packs. both pivots in the penalty box. Oh, and again, Lefidua favoring that outside lane. It was not open this time, but Demanda lashing right back into it. Makes a nice little jive into the middle, and she is through. Lead jammer again for the FDR, but again, right behind her.
And Demanda lashing doing a nice little move, feeding the blocker from Rouge Gore back to her team, or the jammer from Rouge Gore back to her team, but unsuccessful. Oh, and again she does it.
And this time it was successful, swallowed up in the pack, and now Demanda lashing able to break through on turn number 1. Impressive work from the Fidua with a 4-2 pack disadvantage at that.
That's right.
Magnum PEI joining her pivot in the penalty box for Le Fidua.
Fidua with only 2 blockers on the track, but they do have lead jammer. Demanda lashing is in there picking up points. Lappy Knock, you had escaped once again. It's a very interesting jammer defense played by Fidua. Again, time is deadly in these games, so any little advantage that you can get will be beneficial to you, because there is not a lot of time for things to balance out. 11-2 for the Fidua, 16 minutes to go in this game.
Very impressed, though, by this Rouge Gore team. They definitely ready mentally for this tournament, and you can see them now playing with formations at the beginning, starting up in the pivot line. They've got a big pack advantage here, and I think they know they were losing the scrum start, so perhaps just trying to switch it up a bit.
And Nana Bistorio off the line quickly, but running into the back of the 2 blockers that were on the track for Fidua, and Betrav getting lead jammer for Fidua. Again, not your prototypical jammer, but she has had great success for her team all weekend long. She's going to call this one off with a 0-0, but in doing so, she kills one of the penalties for her blockers in the box. Then it'll only be a 4-on-3 pack advantage for the Rouge Gore. So very beneficial jam, good time management by the Montreal roller derby team.
Yeah, and Beth Rav, as you mentioned, maybe not a prototypical jammer, but she can just pound through those scrum starts. Very physical, very sturdy on her skates. Big advantage for her.
I really love those jammers. They're not what you expect, but when they blast through there, it's fantastic. And the bodies have a tendency to fly out of their way. So Demanda lashing once again on the track for Fidua. She's in heavy rotation. Minnie Small, I believe, is going back out there for the Rouge Gore. Rouge Gore, 5 minutes in, having a little bit of trouble here. We do have a timeout going on for the Rouge Gore, so it looks like maybe they're...
Yeah, it looked like the bench manager was indicating an official review, and that seems to be what's happening as the refs confer on the inside of the track. Fidua made it through to this game by going 2-0, winning their first 2 games of the double elimination bracket yesterday. Le Rouge Gore had a much more challenging path to get here, though. But they did, of note, set a new record for scoring in a 20-minute game. They scored 159 points against the Derby Debutantes in their first of the 2 wins they needed to get here. And it must be challenging when you lose that first game, just mentally knowing you've got to play 2 more. It's not like you losing your second game where you haven't been thinking about it all day.
Sure enough, yeah, that first game, you don't have to worry if you lose, but after that, it's all elimination all the time. You cannot lose, and the pressure that's on you is a lot more significant. We're going to get the jam underway. It doesn't look like anything changed as a result. Still only 1 blocker in the box for the Fidua. Demanda lashing, pushing through on the outside. She's going to find a line. Will Benoit be able to stop her? No, unsuccessful. Lead jammer for Demanda lashing, and the Fidua. Minnie Small still trapped in the pack, nerd.
Yes, and it looks like another... Oh, it's going to be a power jam now for Le Fidua. A forearm major being called on the Rouge Gore jammer. First mistake going to the Rouge Gore with an 11-2 lead for the Fidua. 5 minutes in, this is the opportunity they are looking for.
The Rouge Gore do have 4 blockers on the track, so they will be able to put maximum effort into slowing down Demanda lashing. But she's not going to be denied. She gets past Douche Nuken, and she's picked up 5 points. Demanda lashing around one more time. Again, crashing into that wall of red. Good blocking on the part of Rouge Gore, but Demanda lashing finds a way on the outside, picks up another 5 points. We've got a clockwise block call going on number 4 from Le Fidua. That is Sugar Shane. So a little less blocker support, but the only jammer on the track, Demanda lashing, who's taking a beating out there, nerd.
She is. But she is putting up the points that they need. She's got 10 points so far. Another pass, so 15 points now on this jam. And she's going to call it off. And I'm actually going to pass off the mic, Captain Lou, Private Stacks is going to join you. He will do a much better job pronouncing those French names with a much better accent than I do.
Indeed, indeed. Private Stacks from Montreal Roller Derby's announcing crew coming on to represent the Quebec side of the bracket. He's got to suffer through the Anglo pronunciations of Captain Lou. That's me. But I tried to do my best. In the box, standing, that is Mini Small, so the power jam is almost over, but the Feedawa have iced her in there. They'll get a power start, and that's high. Jamming for the Feedawa. Stacks, how you doing?
Not too bad. How are you, Captain Lou?
Just fine on this nice, warm Sunday morning.
Sorry, I came in a little bit late here. I'm a little bit shocked that we're started completely on time here at Beast of the East.
Completely on time. Getting lead jammer very quickly was Ohio, but coming out of the box and getting through the pack immediately was Mini Small. Ohio spinning her way through the front of that pack and picking up 4 more points for the Feedawa. They move up to 30, so they put 19 points up effectively on that power jam, and they've got themselves a 28-point lead with 13 minutes to go in this game, Stacks.
I'm not too sure if Derby Nerd brought this up or not, but I am now 99% sure this is the first time a Quebec team has competed on Sunday at Beast of the East. A team from
Quebec,
Vive, Quebec, yeah.
It is true, and which means this is also the first time in Beast history that there have been 4 teams from the province of Quebec on the second day. And they're all in the same bracket.
That's good news and bad news if you're cheering on the Quebec teams.
Well, I suspect we're going to see the roof blow off this place when the Quebec teams and the Ontario teams face off in the finals. But lead jammer, signaled by the crowd and the jammer ref, Divine Intervention, is Nana Bisturi for the Rouge Gore. She's coming up in the back of the pack, but she's going to have to call it off. Her blockers all hanging out at the back. And chasing her down was Panzerette. So no points for the Rouge Gore, but a moral victory getting that lead jammer.
Well, this point, as we're coming up with just under 12 minutes left on the clock, you got to be thinking that the Feedawa have this, but there's still only a 28-point lead, and the Rouge Gore might be able to mount a big comeback if the Feedawa start to make mistakes.
Exactly. If you were watching yesterday, there was multiple times where it looks like a team had everything under control, and in the last 10 minutes, everything fell apart. And with these short games, you make a mistake and you will pay. On the outside, who's our lead jammer, Stacks?
It's our favorite. It's Betrive.
And we do love her again. This is her second time out in this game, second time getting lead jammer. Very effective jammer for the Feedawa. And we've got ourselves... no track cut. Thought there might have been one, but I think she was out of play. So 4 more points for the Feedawa. They move up to 34, 32-point lead. Rouge Gore have used their official reviewer already. They have 2 timeouts left. Under 11 minutes to go.
The Feedawa look like they're sticking with the strategy of just grabbing some quick points and calling it off. They haven't had any runaway jams, but if you just keep it up playing this way, you don't really have to.
And no, there was a track cut at the end of that jam after it was called off. There was the track cut was on the Rouge Gore jammer as she came out the front, and there was a delayed call. So after Beth called off the jam, the jammer for Rouge Gore went to the box. So it's going to be another power jam to Feedawa. Perhaps some nerves on the part of the Quebec Roller Derby League team.
This is obviously not where you want to be, since the Feedawa jammer is going to be completely fresh after this whistle and review. There's not the usual... Usually when you get a power jam, you've already been out on the track for a few seconds and you're a little bit tired, but starting a full minute with a completely fresh jammer is just about as good as it gets for a power jam.
Exactly. And to the Rouge Gore's benefit again, they do have 4 blockers on the track, so they'll be able to do as much defensive work as they can possibly fit in. Only 3 blockers on the track for Feedawa, but you know, Amanda Lashing has done a pretty good job jamming all by herself. Let's see if she gets through this wall of red. We've got a no-pack call. And Amanda Lashing getting lead jammer quite quickly there. Stacked 6 seconds into the jam.
Not quite sure who we have out there blocking for Feedawa. I recognize the team captain, Magnum PEI, helping out Amanda as much as she can, but trying to identify some of the other numbers over there.
That was Ash Hole hitting the ground hard after providing an assistance, getting Demanda Lashing through the front blockers. She's up there again, trying to break up the wall of red.
And I think it's Tukila Bing Bang who's out there helping out as a blocker.
She is indeed.
And they lost the services of their captain with Magnum PEI now sent to the bench. So they have a couple of smaller blockers trying to help out Demanda Lashing as much as they can.
Ashwell with a nice hit on Benoit Sextine. And Demanda Lashing getting knocked out of bounds by Feline Dion, but Feline Dion also went down. Demanda able to come back in, pick up 5 points. Lappy knock you out of the box. Power jam is over. Timeout for Rouge et Gore. They're going to have to reorganize themselves because they're down by 43 points with 9.5 minutes to go. Not an insurmountable lead, but all of the momentum has gone the way of Montreal's Fitawa in purple and gold.
So did you do any after partying last night, Lou?
After that long day of roller derby, I went out and had some poutine and a beer and fell asleep immediately. But it was nice.
Right there at the table.
I almost did, Paul. Yeah, you can talk to my wife. She'd been reffing all day. She was tired too, but I barely made it home. But it was nice to have this tournament start at a more dignified hour today. 8 o'clock in the morning is a crazy time to be getting up to play roller derby.
Oh, definitely. Personally, myself, I went out to a barbecue last night with one of the officials, Thurston for Justice, and also one of the tech guys who's helping out on Canuck Derby TV, who's, of course, broadcasting us right now. And everybody was pretty wiped out.
I'm sure they were. And blasting after that timeout, blasting right through both walls, Nana Bisturi, the star jammer for the Rouge et Gore, getting lead jammer for the third time in this game. Ohai is right behind her. She's got a quarter lap to make up. Looks like Nana Bisturi's going to be able to get through the wall and pick up points this time. 4 points go on the board for the Rouge et Gore. They triple up their score. They go from 2 to 6. Puts them down by 39, but good timeout. They need a little bit more of what Nana Bisturi brings to the track, I think.
You can hear it in the crowd. The Beast fans always love the underdog. Even if they're down almost 40 points and a lead jam grabbing some quick points, we'll always get a big cheer from the Beast of the East crowd.
This is true. I'm sure there are a ton of fans here cheering on the Fitawa, but I don't know that they would be too sad to see Rouge et Gore go through as well. They have been the underdog story of the tournament, but Demanda Lashing continuing to do what she does best, collecting lead jammer right away. Minnie Small, about 30 feet back, is also out of the pack. Demanda Lashing approaching. And she's got 1-2 to beat. Calls it off a bit early, knowing that Minnie was gaining ground quickly. No points for the Rouge et Gore. Just checking to see from jammer ref Patricide how many points were scored by Demanda. He's checking with his outside pack refs. Sidekick and Harass Ford. Well, sidekick is the jammer ref. There you go. 2 points. 2 points for Demanda. So she managed to get her hips past 1 plus the 1 in the box.
They do look similar.
They do.
Patricide and
Sidekick from Rock City. He's from Rochester, New York. Up here to participate in the Beast of the East. Referees from across Canada and the United States enjoying the refereeing action. Ohai from the Fitawa getting lead jammer. Nana Bisturi is out of the pack as well. Rouge et Gore are doing a very good job of getting their jammers out even when they don't have lead private stacks.
Well, it's definitely something to build on if they're going to be taking these experiences and moving them forward and throughout the rest of the season and even towards next year's Beast, is the fact that they're still not getting held up in the pack, which is definitely better case scenario than if you can't even get the jammer out come Sunday Beast.
Exactly. 49-6 for the Fitawa. 7 minutes to go in this game. Time becoming pivotal for the Rouge et Gore if they wish to mount a comeback. Fitawa going with a very regular dose of Demanda Lashing on the jammer line. And we've got Lappy Knock You for the Rouge et Gore.
You got to wonder if heading out towards the rest of the tournament, if this is going to be a fatigue factor that the Fitawa might have to run, alternating mostly between Ohai and Demanda Lashing. If they're going all the way to the finals, they have, 3-4 games to play, including that final game that would be a half hour long?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, after this is a semifinal. So if you want to win the Beast on day 2, you have to win 3 games, and the games get a bit longer as the day goes on. quickly through the pack, picking up all 4 points. Demanda Lashing putting another 4 on the board for the Fedewa. 53-6, 6 minutes to go in the first game of day 2. Again, this is a qualifying game for the semifinals. Whoever wins this game will have an opportunity to play for either first and second or third and fourth. So you get 2 more games automatically if you win this game. If you lose this game, you get to sit back, drink beer, and watch roller derby for the rest of the day.
That doesn't sound too bad.
There are no losers at Beast. That's one of the magic things about this place. Ohio on the outside, battling her way through all of the Rouge et Gore blockers, readjusting her elbow pad, coming out of the front of the pack. She's your lead jammer. And once again, the Rouge et Gore doing a good job of getting their blocker out as well. Nana Basturi hot on Ohio's tail. And once again, Ohio calling it off. Only 3 points put on the board. Rouge et Gore not gaining any ground, but limiting the damage that Fedewa can do to them. Single passes and not always getting all 4 points out there. Nice work on the part of the ladies in red. Fedewa extend their lead to 50 points with 5 minutes to go.
And once again, even with a fairly comfortable 50-point lead, they're really only rolling 2 jammers right now, Demanda Lashing and Ohio. I think we've only seen Bethraev twice in this game.
Just twice.
Got to wonder if maybe the smart play is to rest those jammers since they have a long day ahead of them if they keep winning.
Indeed, indeed. Demanda Lashing getting lead jammer again. Fedewa not taking their foot off of the accelerator until the time will run out in this game, apparently. Mini Small trapped in that pack. Hard blocking on the part of the purple and gold. Demanda Lashing coming around and ready to score. Mini Small unable to find her way free.
Demanda Lashing picking up a grand slam there as Mini Small just can't seem to solve the Fedewa pack right now.
And finally, Mini Small breaks free, but not before Demanda Lashing has put points up on the board and is coming around for another helping. Four more points go up for Fedewa. They move to 65. The Rouge et Gore stuck at 6. Under 4 minutes to go in this quarterfinal game. And Stacks, maybe they're listening to you. Look who's out on the jammer line.
There we go. We have Bethraev getting ready to jam for the Fedewa. And they're skating with a smaller pack, both numerically and also physically. A lot of their physical players seem to be sitting this jam out.
That is true. Nana Basturi jamming for the Rouge et Gore. She has been the standout jammer for them. Finds a gap on the inside. Quickly accelerates her way through the pack, getting lead jammer. And Moby Deep putting a big hit on Beth as she comes through. Nana Basturi is around for 4 more points for the Rouge et Gore, though. They move up to 10. 3 minutes to go in this game. Might be a little bit too late. Down by 55.
Still, I think at this point, though, Coach Altena has plenty to work with this newly formed Rouge et Gore team.
Yeah, and when you consider the last couple times that Quebec Roller Derby has been here, it's been with their travel team, the Les Duchesses. They had managed to get one win last year. The year before they had picked up 0. They've had 2 this year. They've built every year that they've come here. They've been more and more impressive. Ouch, that looked painful. Hitting the ground hard is the jammer for the Fedewa, and that is 2 killer bing bang. Lapinocchio is also out of the pack. So yes, Fedewa taking the star off of their, whoa, another big hit. That's Douche Nukin knocking 2 killer to the inside. Rouge et Gore picking up 3 points. 2 killer not getting anything on that. Fedewa putting out perhaps less experienced jammers, but with time ticking down, resting those jammers that they'll need for the next 2 games, Stacks.
Seems to be the plan, except I think right now it's Ohio back on the track.
Ohio, yeah. It's kind of the curse of the announcer. As soon as you start praising a team for doing something, they'll do something the exact opposite of what you say. Nana Basturi jamming for Rouge et Gore, looking for an outside line. Ohio is already at the front of the pack, skips her way through on the apex of turn 1 and 2, and gets lead jammer for the Fedewa with under 2 minutes to play. She could grind the clock out if she wishes, but I suspect she's going to do a hit it and quit it through this pack. not really worried that the differential can be made up. There she is, through for 4 points. Fidois moving up to 69. Rouge Gore at 13. 1 minute to go in this game. And we're going to get a timeout for the Rouge Gore.
Mobizet is playing to the crowd a little bit. We have a strong cheering contingent here from Quebec City down in the, I believe, north side of the rink. If my cardinal points are right.
I think you're correct. It's hard to. There's no signs in here, but I think you are correct. That is the north side of the rink. Very good. Yeah, I mean, QRD did bring a second.